Chapter 1. Intro.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Before we dive in, this part goes out to the conspiracy theorists who are absolutely convinced my videos are 100% AI generated. So here's a behind-the-scenes peek at this video in Premiere Rush because apparently, AI now spends hours battling timelines, wrestling with glitches, and surviving coffee-fueled meltdowns. Yes, the chaos is real. And no, I don't come with a debug mode. If you're new here, hi, I'm Nicola, your virtual host with a real passion for turning dumb homes into smart ones without turning you into a licensed electrician in the process. Today we're tackling one of the most overlooked MVPs of home comfort, the ventilation system. You know, that mysterious humming thing no one talks about, until your bathroom smells like a swamp, your mirrors fog up like a horror movie set, and your guests start questioning their life choices. Now let's fix that ventilation with a little smart home wizardry.
Lumos Maximum.
Chapter 2. Disclaimers.
Let's kick things off with a little confession. I have zero formal knowledge about ventilation systems. So if I drop the wrong term here and there, just smile, nod, and forgive me. I'm learning too. Everything I know, I picked up from the instruction manual and a few highly questionable late-night Google spirals. Now, a quick heads up. This step-by-step guide won't apply to every ventilation system out there. But if yours looks anything like mine, you should be just fine following along. Also, this video is not sponsored. We bought our apartment over 2 years ago, and the ventilation system was already installed by the developer before we moved in. So in case you're wondering, no, I didn't get to choose the setup. This is just the hand I was dealt. Lucky me, right? And just to keep it real, every smart device you see in this video was paid for with my own money. No free gadgets. No secret sponsorships. Just me, my wallet, and a dream of a smarter bathroom. Oh, and one last thing. This is the long version of the video, where I've stitched in parts of my other guides to actually show you how to configure some of the smart devices, instead of just sending you off with a bunch of links and a pat on the back. But if you're short on time or patience and prefer a shorter version that skips the nitty-gritty setup details from my other videos, no worries. Just click the link in the top right corner now or grab it from the description below. Okay, buckle up. It's going to be long. It's going to be informative. And it's going to be just the right amount of chaotic.
Chapter 3. Safety warning.
Before you go full DIY hero, remember, you're dealing with electricity, not Lego. And electricity is no joke. Safety first. Always. If you're not 100% sure what you're doing, call a licensed electrician. No judgment. No shame. Just a solid plan to not get zapped today.
Chapter 4. My ventilation system.
So here's what I'm working with. A continuous ventilation system called CME2Q Plus by Titan. The main engine is just chilling up in the ceiling like it owns the place, pulling air from 3 extraction points, 2 bathrooms and the kitchen. And no, the kitchen one isn't your classic extractor fan above the hob. This one's an extra vent, sneakily mounted in the ceiling, just to keep things spicy, confusing, and needlessly mysterious. There are no fancy timers, no smart sensors. Just one lonely, hidden switch to turn the whole system on or off, plus 3 mysterious booster switches, one in the kitchen and one next to each bathroom light switch. Basically, it's like a secret society of switches. Very exclusive. No one really knows who's in charge. So how does it work? The system runs continuously at low speed, gently and quietly sucking air from all 3 spots at once, like it's meditating. Flip a booster switch and the engine goes full beast mode, ramping up to high speed and extracting air from all 3 places simultaneously, like it suddenly discovered a passion for cardio. Does it technically do the job? Sure. If doing the job means running 24/7 and hoping for the best. Is it efficient? Well, depends how you feel about paying to ventilate an empty bathroom for 3 days straight. Most of the time, it's either humming away nonstop, massive shout out to my electricity bill, or completely forgotten when it's actually needed, like after someone's chilly night disaster. And honestly, I'm not loving this setup. Neither is my family. So, time to smarten things up.
Chapter 5. Preparing the dashboard display.
I've just created a brand new squeaky clean view on the existing dashboard, just for you. This way you'll be able to see all the Home Assistant elements we'll be adding throughout this conversion, neatly lined up in one place like proud little digital ducks in a row.
Chapter 6. Adding Smart Devices.
Okay, here are the main missions. Make the bathroom light smart, so Home Assistant knows when someone's in there doing their business. Add a smart switch to the ventilation system, so Home Assistant can finally boss it around like it deserves. Connect an extra smart switch to the ventilation unit as an additional booster, so it can crank things up to high speed without human involvement. But before we dive into the real work, we need to prepare the ground.
Step 1. Turn off the power.
It's time to tackle the wiring challenge. Installation is fairly straightforward, but before we even think about touching a wire, safety first. Turn off the power at the circuit breaker. No exceptions.
Step 2. Play detective with wires.
Let's put on detective hats. Electric edition. Identify your wires. They should be color-coded, but never assume. Double-check the standards in your country. In the UK since 2004. Live is brown. Neutral is blue. And earth is green and yellow. Find the live-in wire. This is the one supplying power. Warning! Unfortunately, this step needs to be done while the power is on, so please be extremely careful. No heroics, just safe and smart testing. The best tool for this is a non-contact voltage detector pen, a must-have for any aspiring electrician. If you don't have one, a simple screwdriver with an electricity detector will also do the trick. Once you've identified the live-in wire, turn the power off again, then mark the wire so you can easily recognize it later.
Step 3. Make the bathroom light smart.
To show how to wire a smart switch module, I'll be using my mysterious contraption, built specifically for this kind of demo magic. It lets me film everything up close and in detail without having to dangle upside down under a bathroom light switch like some kind of awkward DIY Batman. For this step, I use the Zigbee Smart Switch Module MS104Z. If that rings a bell, it's probably because I've already made a full video about it on the channel. Go check it out if you want the full deep dive with all the juicy details. Quick note, in this video, I'm only adding one bathroom light to Home Assistant. Why? Because it would be incredibly boring and completely pointless to show the same steps over and over again. But make no mistake, you'll need to repeat this process for every bathroom light in your home. Yes, every bathroom. No shortcuts unless you enjoy uneven smartness levels in your home.
Part 1. The Great Wiring Puzzle.
For my bathroom lights, I wanted both the physical switch and the smart module to work together harmoniously, like a well-trained tag team. That means I'm using the recommended and likely the most popular setup, keeping the wall switch fully functional while allowing Home Assistant to take control. Regardless of the switch position, Home Assistant remains in charge. One important thing to note, you may need to replace your existing light switch. According to the manufacturer, this module is designed to work with rocker light switches or retractive switches, also known as push or reset switches. Check out the wiring diagram. It provides a clear visual representation of how to connect everything, making installation straightforward. Since my retractive switch likes to stay grounded, literally, first connect the earth wires. Next, connect the neutral wire to in on the smart module. Connect the live out wire to L out. Now, here's the important part. Live-in needs to connect to 3 places. L, L1, and the physical switch. To make this clearer, I'm using a splicing connector for the live wires. The live input goes into the splicing connector, from which one wire connects to the L terminal on the module and another connects to the switch. You can bridge L to L1. On the physical switch, use the COM terminal for the live-in wire. From the switch's one-way terminal, also known as L1, connect a wire to S1 on the smart module. And that's it. Installation complete. This setup allows both the physical switch and Home Assistant to work together like a dream team. Smart automation when you want it, manual control when you need it. With that, you have successfully wired your Zigbee Smart Switch module with a physical switch.
Part 2. Home Assistant Setup.
Now that the wiring is done, it's time to make some smart magic happen. Flip that breaker back on and take a moment to admire your electrical masterpiece. No sparks? No smoke? No smell of burning regrets? Fantastic! Let's move on before the universe realizes we got away with it. Since this module speaks Zigbee, you'll need a Zigbee-compatible hub to introduce it to Home Assistant. I'm using Zigbee 2 MQTT, so all examples will be based on my live setup. Time to introduce your new Mo Zigbee Smart Switch module to the rest of your smart home. Think of it like online dating, but instead of awkward small talk, you're just hoping the connection works. Open the Zigbee 2 MQTT integration and put your hub into pairing mode by clicking Permit Join. This tells your Zigbee network, hey, we're making new friends. Most Zigbee devices jump into pairing mode automatically when first powered on. But if yours is feeling shy, you may need to reset it. Press and hold the reset button on the module until you hear a continuous beeping sound, the universal sign of surrender. 2 beeps are not enough. Keep pressing. If your module is already buried inside a junction box and you don't feel like playing electrician again, try these sneaky workarounds. For retractive switch, press the switch 10 times quickly. For rocker switch, toggle it on and off 10 times. Yes, that's 20 presses total. Get those fingers ready. You should hear a continuous beeping sound, which means your device has entered pairing mode and is searching for its new home. Within a few seconds, your switch module should appear in the device list. If not, take a deep breath, try again, and remind yourself why you started this DIY journey in the first place. Unless you enjoy scrolling through cryptic Zigbee addresses, rename your module in the Zigbee 2 MQTT interface. Since I've got 2 bathrooms, I added 2 identical modules and named them SWM1GM Bath R Ceiling and SWM1G Bath R Ceiling. Here's the secret decoder ring. SWM, Switch Module, because life's too short for long names. 1G, 1 gain, because it's flying solo, just 1 output, no entourage. M Bath R, Main Bathroom, that's where this light lives. E Bath R, Ensuite Bathroom, same logic. Ceiling, yes, it controls the ceiling light. Shocking, I know. Before clicking Rename Device, make sure to enable Update Home Assistant Entity ID. That way, the new name syncs across your smart home kingdom. You do not want to rename the same thing 5 times. Trust me, been there. Mildly traumatized. Need more naming wisdom? Check out my video. The perfect naming conventions. Simplify your smart home. Click the link in the top right or grab it from the description later. Before this switch gets any wild ideas, let's lay down some ground rules. Open your newly added device by clicking on its name. In the About tab, add a description. This is totally optional, but future you will be eternally grateful. I wrote, Smart Switch Module for Bathroom Light, 1 cell of the Smart Ventilation System's brain. Go to the Settings specific tab and set State Action to True. This lets Home Assistant know whether the switch is on or off. Kind of important. Head over to the Exposes tab and set Power On behavior to off. That way, your bathroom light won't randomly come on after a power cut like it's trying to haunt you. Let's wrap this up like professionals. In Home Assistant, go to Settings. Then Devices and Services. Switch to the Devices tab. Find your shiny new switch module and open it. Tap the pencil icon in the top right corner to enter edit mode. Assign your switch to the appropriate bathroom. Add labels to help your future automations run smoother than a freshly waxed hallway floor. Click Update, and you're done. Your Zigbee Smart Switch module is now wired, paired, named, and fully integrated with Home Assistant. You, my friend, are now the proud ruler of intelligent bathroom lighting.
Part 3. Dashboard Display.
Now that we've added some shiny new devices to our smart home as part of the ventilation system conversion, it's time to put those fancy new bathroom light switches on the dashboard where they belong. I want them to show up as lights, so first I need to change their device type. Here's how to do it. Go to Settings, then click Devices and Services. Open the Helpers tab. Click the big Create Helper button in the bottom right corner. In the Create Helper dialog, choose Change Device Type of a switch. Assign the correct entity. Set the need type to Light, and hit Submit. In the final step, you can adjust the device name and confirm its area. Click Finish and voila, your switch is now officially a light. Find your newly created helper in the list. Click the 3 dots on the far right and choose Settings. Alternatively, click its name. Then hit the gear icon in the top right. Inside the settings, add labels to keep your chaos lightly categorized, or just to feel like a smart home librarian. When you're done, click Update to save your changes. Repeat this whole process for every switch you want to masquerade as a light. Now let's make them look good on the dashboard. Head to your dashboard and choose the view you want to use. Enter Edit mode. Now you can start adding cards. I'm using a grid card to group devices nicely. Since this grid is just for bathroom lights, I named it Bathroom Lights. Surprise, surprise! I set the number of columns to 4 to keep things neat and tidy. Inside the grid card, I added 2 light cards, one for each bathroom. I named each card clearly so I'd always know which bathroom I was illuminating, because playing light switch roulette is a game nobody enjoys. Both lights added. Both lights working. Mission accomplished. Let's move on to the next one.
Step 4. Make the engine power switch partially smart.
For the engine power, I used the same module as I did for the bathroom lights, Mo's Zigbee Smart Switch Module MS104Z. But this time I went rogue and used a different wiring setup.
Part 1. The Great Wiring Puzzle.
I wanted the ability to completely cut off the entire system using a single physical switch, because sometimes you just want to shut things down like a boss. So I came up with this custom wiring approach. In this setup, the physical switch is installed before the smart module. That means Home Assistant can only control the module when the switch is on. If the switch is off, the module has no power, so no smart control. This wiring diagram is entirely my own idea. You won't find it in the manual. However, it's almost identical to the without switch version, with one key difference. Instead of connecting Live-In directly to the smart module, first route it through the physical switch. Use the COM terminal on the switch for the Live-In wire. From the switch's L1 terminal, connect a wire to both L and L1 on the smart module. You can bridge L to L1. Now the physical switch acts as a master power gatekeeper. It can cut off power to the smart module and whatever device it's controlling, leaving Home Assistant completely powerless when switched off. Choose wisely.
Part 2. Home Assistant Setup.
If you've made it this far, you already know how to set up the Mo's Zigbee Smart Switch Module MS104Z. But if you need a refresher, head back to Step 3, make the bathroom light smart. It's got everything you need. As for naming this new module, I went with SWM1G Utility-Aware Extractor. And since you've already cracked my secret decoder ring, here's the breakdown for the new stuff. Utility-Aware, utility room, where both the switch and extractor motor are quietly hiding out. Extractor, this one's pretty self-explanatory. If it's not, we may need to talk.
Part 3. Dashboard Display.
This time, I'm keeping it simple. The switch stays a switch. No honorary promotion to light or fan, this one knows its place. So here's what I did. Created a new grid card for a fresh group and named a ventilation system. Added the switch card to the grid and gave it a name, so I know exactly what it's controlling. Swap the icon for something a bit more extractory because details matter. And just like that, the next part of the dashboard is looking sharp and functional. I can now turn the ventilation system on and off directly from the dashboard. How fancy is that? Mission logged, dashboard updated. Let's keep this smart home train rolling.
Step 5. Make a booster switch smart.
Ah yes, the trickiest task of them all. The boss level. At least for me. Each of the 3 booster switches in my setup is part of a volt-free circuit, which is just a fancy way of saying there's no actual power to steal here. You can't just slap a regular Zigbee switch module into the setup and call it a day. Why is that a problem? Because smart modules aren't magical, they need actual juice to work. And this circuit? It's about as energetic as a Monday morning before coffee. The voltage these booster switches control is a jaw-dropping 7.8 millivolts. Truly electrifying. Just enough to tickle an ant, barely. Honestly, this was one of the biggest challenges in my entire smart home adventure so far. Figuring out how to smarten up the booster switches on my bathroom extractors without ripping out or upgrading the entire ventilation system.
Part 1. What is a volt-free switching?
Volt-free switching, also known as dry contact switching, allows a relay or switch to control a circuit without directly supplying power. Instead, they use an external power source. This is particularly useful for controlling boilers, garage doors, ventilation and alarm systems, and other low-voltage devices. Unlike traditional relays, a volt-free relay acts like a matchmaker for electricity, letting different voltage systems communicate safely without the risk of an electrifying breakup.
Part 2. Not-so-great wiring puzzle.
Compared to the previous Mo Smart Switch, this one is refreshingly simple when it comes to wiring. No brain-bending diagrams or wire spaghetti this time. This volt-free switch module comes with 2 power supply options. 5 volts USB power via a micro USB port, because apparently USB-C was too futuristic. AC/DC 7 volts to 32 volts for those who like their voltage with a bit of flair. There's also an input for the volt-free circuit you want to control. Now here's the key detail. This switch is designed to close the circuit it's connected to. It doesn't matter whether it's an AC or DC circuit, and it doesn't care which wire is positive or negative. What does matter is which terminals you use, because a closed circuit starts the booster, and getting that right is kind of important. You'll find 3 terminals on the module for connecting the volt-free circuit. There are 2 possible wiring setups, middle and left terminals. This is the setup I used. In this configuration, the circuit is open when the switch is off. Turn the switch on to close the circuit and start the booster. Middle and right terminals. This setup does the opposite. The circuit is closed when the switch is off and opens when the switch is on. Choose the configuration that matches your setup. For most people, and definitely for me, middle plus left is the way to go. As for power, I went with the micro USB option, mainly because I still have a drawer full of those cables, and at least one of them has finally found its purpose in life. The Extract Ventilation Unit Product Manual, yes, I actually read it, helped me figure out where and how to connect the additional booster switch to the ventilation engine. And thankfully, it wasn't rocket science. The only truly annoying and time-consuming part was getting the cover off the engine. It was like the ventilation unit was guarding its secrets behind a plastic fortress, held together with screws, clips, and probably dark magic or a curse from the factory. But at last, my full-free self-locking Zigbee switch is powered, connected, and proudly serving as the 4th booster switch. Happy days!
Part 3. Home Assistant Setup.
Put your Zigbee gateway into pairing mode. If you're using Zigbee 2 MQTT like I am, just click Permit Join in the web interface and power on the switch. This switch module has a reset, also known as pairing button, so if it didn't enter pairing mode automatically, just press and hold the button until it starts blinking like a desperate Wi-Fi signal in a concrete basement. Give it a moment. Within a few seconds, it should pop up in your Zigbee device list. As usual, rename your device in the Zigbee 2 MQTT web interface. I named mine SWD1G Utility-Aware Booster. By now, you should be able to decode almost the whole naming system for my switches. The D stands for dry, as in dry contact, aka volt-free like we covered earlier. Next, set up a few important options in the Zigbee to MQTT control page. Under the About tab, set a helpful device description. I went with volt-free smart switch module for booster, next cell of the smart ventilation system's brain. Under the Settings specific tab, set State Action to True, so you can actually see if the booster is on or off. Under the Exposes tab, set Power On Behavior to Off, because we want the booster to activate when needed, not randomly after a power outage. Now hop over to the Devices list in Home Assistant Settings. Find your newly added switch. Start Edit mode. Add its location. Set a few labels. And hit Update to save your changes.
Part 4. Dashboard display.
And here's the grand tour of the latest dashboard update. Since this switch is now officially in charge of boosting the extractor, I added it to the ventilation system group on my dashboard. I copied the one and only card inside that grid, pasted it, and made a few key changes. Swap the entity because this one's for the booster, not the main power switch. Let's not mix those up. Give it a name because I like to know exactly what I'm pressing and avoid launching the extractor into orbit. Change the icon to the third gear symbol. It just screams mechanical muscle. Change the color to red because nothing says booster activated like a big, glowing red button. The booster switch is now smart, proud, and dashboard ready. Another mission complete. Let's roll on to the next one.
Step 6. Make your areas humidity aware.
To set up automations based on humidity, Home Assistant needs to know the actual humidity levels in all the critical zones, all bathrooms, and the kitchen. For this project, I need at least 3 sensors, one for each bathroom and one for the kitchen. Of course, you're welcome to go wild and add more. I'll demonstrate the setup process using one sensor, but keep in mind, you'll want to repeat these steps for each additional sensor to keep your system consistent and chaos-free. For this video, I'm using the Smarthome Zigbee Smart Temperature and Humidity Sensor with LCD display SN-ZB02D. If you'd like a deeper dive into this little gadget, check out my other video, Smarthome Zigbee LCD Temperature and Humidity Sensor SN-ZB02D in Home Assistant. Step-by-step guide.
Part 1. Home Assistant Setup.
As with any Zigbee device, start by putting both your Zigbee hub and the new sensor into pairing mode. Since I've already covered this in detail earlier in the video, I'll spare you the deja vu and skip the replay. Once your sensor appears in the Zigbee device list, give it a clear and consistent name. I went with SNTH Kitchen Fridge, SNTH M Bathroom Mirror, and SNTH E Bathroom Mirror. Let's decode the naming scheme in case it still looks like robot poetry. SN stands for sensor. TH stands for temperature and humidity. The rest should make sense to you by now, or at least that's what I tell myself. Let's fine-tune a few settings to make sure your sensor doesn't end up confused and aimless in the vast world of smart automation. In Zigbee to MQTT interface, find your sensor and click on its name. Under the About tab, you can add a fancy description. I went with temperature and humidity sensor, a few more cells of the smart ventilation system's brain. In the Exposes tab, pick your preferred temperature unit, Celsius or Fahrenheit, depending on which side of the thermostat wars you're on. You can also set upper and lower comfort thresholds for temperature and humidity, perfect for those moments when your bathroom turns into a tropical rainforest or your kitchen suddenly channels Antarctica. Under the Settings Specific tab, adjust the precision of each data point. Because why round up when you can obsess over decimal places? Now jump into Home Assistant settings, go to Devices and Services, and find your newly added sensor under the Devices tab. Click it. Hit the little pencil icon in the top right to enter edit mode. Assign it to the correct area, kitchen or bathroom, and add a couple of labels if you like being organized or at least pretending to be. Once you're done, click Update. Congratulations! Your Zigbee temperature and humidity sensor is now officially part of the family. Paired, labeled, placed, and ready to work. This marks the end of our onboarding tour for new smart gadgets in this project. Go ahead and give yourself a well-deserved pat on the back. You've earned it.
Part 2. Dashboard display.
For this particular project, we only care about one entity from the Smarthome temperature and humidity sensor. Humidity. So here's what I did in the dashboard. Created a new group and named it Humidity, straight to the point. Added sensor cards for each sensor. Assigned the humidity entity to each card. Labeled each card with its location so I know which area I'm watching sweat in real time. And that's it. Simple, functional, ready to tell you when your bathroom is turning into a spa.
Chapter 7. Helpers for help.
To make the automations work, I need a few more brain cells in the system, and that's where helpers come in. So let's roll up our sleeves and get into it. First, head over to Settings. then Devices and Services, and click on the Helpers tab.
Step 1. Bathroom lights.
My goal is simple, at least on paper. Turn on the extractor fan whenever a bathroom light turns on, and turn it off when the light turns off. Simple logic, no wizardry required. Quick reminder, the extractor fan doesn't care which bathroom is in use, it pulls air from all of them. So what I need is a signal when any bathroom light turns on, and another when the light turns off. It's not complicated. Thinky swear.
Part 1. Light Group Helper.
Let's build the helper. You should already be in the helper's interface. Click the big, bold Create Helper button in the bottom right corner. In the dialog that pops up, choose Group. Then select the entity type. In this case, we're going for a light group. Give it a meaningful name. I used HGR Light Bathrooms. Here's the decoder key for that name, H, helper, so I know it's virtual and not something I'll trip over in the hallway. GR, group, because clarity is sexy. I'm sure you got the rest right. Now add your entities. I'm using SWM1G in Bathar Ceiling and SWM1GE Bathar Ceiling. Once you've added them, click Submit. Then finish to create the group. Now let's fine-tune the helper. Find it in the list. Click the 3 dots on the far right and select Settings. Or if you prefer, click the helper's name. Then hit the gear icon in the top right corner. In the settings, you can change the icon, purely cosmetic but fun. Assign it to an area. This might be a bit tricky since the group devices live in different rooms. Add labels to help future you make sense of things. Now for the important part. Open the Group Options section and make sure all entities is disabled. This makes the group turn on if any member is on, which is exactly what we want. The extractor should kick in if any bathroom is in use. Click Submit. Then Finish. And finally update to lock in your changes. Your bathroom lights are now unified under one smart, slightly nosy helper that knows when your bathrooms are occupied. Let's group all helpers involved in the ventilation system under one neat category. Click the 3 dots on the right from your helper. Select Assign Category. Create a new category. And name it something sensible. I went with Vent Automation. Pick an icon that screams I manage airflow with style. And click Add. Once the category is created, select it, then hit Save. Job well done.
Part 2. Dashboard Display.
Now that we have this shiny new helper, let's slap it onto the dashboard where it belongs. Head to your dashboard and enter Edit mode. Find your bathroom lights grid card and open it for editing. Copy one of your existing light cards, paste it, and change the entity to your new light group helper. Give it a fitting name and a matching icon to keep things looking clean and intentional. To tidy things up even further, add a layout break card and place it just before the helper. That'll stop your layout from looking like it was thrown together during a caffeine-fueled all-nighter. Hit Save and exit Edit mode. Now your helper light will be on if at least one bathroom light is on, and off only when all the lights are off. Just the way we like it. Simple, smart, and a little bit smug.
Step 2. Humidity.
We already know the humidity levels in all the key locations, but since our humble extraction system pulls air from everywhere when it kicks in, we only care about the highest humidity at any given moment. Basically, if one bathroom is steamy, the fan needs to get to work, regardless of what's happening elsewhere. So how do we figure out the steamiest value? Easy, we build another helper.
Part 1. Combine the state of several sensors helper.
Back to the helper's interface we go. Click Create Helper. And this time, choose Combine the state of several sensors. Yes, that's a mouthful, but it does exactly what we need. Give it a name you'll understand 6 months from now. I named mine HCS Humidity Bathrooms Kitchen. CS, combine the state because clarity is still sexy. And the rest? You get it. Now select your humidity sensors. In my case, SNTH kitchen fridge, SNTH bathroom mirror, and SNTH bathroom mirror. Set the static characteristic to maximum because we only care about the highest reading. Set the precision to 1 or 2 depending on how many decimals make you feel fancy. I left mine at 1. I'm practical like that. Click Submit. Then Finish. Now let's do a bit of cleanup. Find your shiny new combine the state of several sensors helper and open its settings. Set a nice icon because default ones are boring. Double-check the display precision. Make sure it matches your preference for decimal drama. You can assign it to an area, but just like with the light group, it's a bit of a mess since these sensors live in different locations. Add some labels to help future you figure out what this thing is and why you made it. Seriously, labels are like sticky notes for your sanity. Finally, click Update to save all your changes. Now you've got a helper that always knows the highest humidity value across your key locations, so your Extractor fan can fire up when things get steamy. Smart, simple, slightly obsessive, just the way we like it. One more step, give it a home. Click the 3 dots next to your new helper. Select Assign Category. Choose an existing category like Vent Automation. Click Save. That's it. Your humidity mastermind now has a proper label and a fancy category to live in.
Part 2. Dashboard Display.
Time to give our new humidity brain a front row seat on the dashboard. Open your dashboard and jump into edit mode. You know the drill. Locate your humidity grid or wherever you display your moisture stats. Add a new entity card to the grid. No need to reinvent the wheel, just duplicate one of your existing humidity cards. Change the entity to your new helper, the one that combines all your humidity readings into one glorious all-knowing max value. Give it a name that makes sense, something like Max Humidity works great. And pick an icon that says, "Yes, I monitor moisture and I do it with style." Click Save. Exit edit mode. And give yourself a silent high five for dashboarding like a pro. Now you've got one mighty card showing exactly how sweaty things are across your bathrooms and kitchen, and it automatically updates with the highest reading. Perfect for keeping your Extractor fan sharp and ready to spring into action when the air gets steamy. It's clean, it's smart, and it's way better than sniff testing the air.
Step 3. Thresholds.
Humidity in the bathroom isn't just about steamy showers and questionable ventilation choices. A bunch of external factors get a say too, like your local climate, the season, the weather, time of day or night, and possibly even your cat's mood. Your house has vibes, and those vibes change. So instead of locking yourself into fixed humidity thresholds for the Extractor fan, that may or may not make sense next month, let's do something smarter. Make them adjustable right from the dashboard. How? You guessed it, more helpers.
Part 1. Number helpers.
We need 2 main thresholds, one to turn the fan on, one to kick the booster into gear. Let's get building. Head back into the Helpers interface and click Create Helper. Choose Number because words can't measure moisture. Name it something sensible. I went with HNU Threshold Fan. Set an icon, optional but highly recommended for style points. Set minimum and maximum values. Humidity is measured in percent, so I went with 1 to 99. Open Advanced Settings. And set Display Mode to Slider. Leave Step at 1. Set Unit of Measurement to percent. Click Create. Now do it again for the booster threshold. Name, HNU Threshold Fan Booster. Everything else stays the same. I'm not decoding these names anymore. You're fluent in Helpernese by now. And just like that, we've got 2 shiny new helpers, ready to control fan behavior like a boss. Before we move on, take a moment to open the settings for each helper. Assign an area if you want your virtual devices tied to a physical location. Add labels. Yes, it's boring. Yes, it's worth it. Future you 100% agrees. Click Update to save your sanity. Let's group these beauties under one roof. Click the 3 dots next to each helper. Select Assign Category. Choose your existing category. Then click Save. And that's it. You've now got a sleek set of flexible, dashboard-friendly humidity thresholds, ready to adapt to shifting seasons, spontaneous sauna sessions, or your toddler's 45-minute bath art installations.
Part 2. Dashboard display.
Another day, another pair of helpers ready to shine on your dashboard. Let's get them displayed. Edit your dashboard. Click Add Card, and this time choose a number card. Here's the quick and easy way. Switch to the By Entity tab, find your helper. Tick the box next to it, click Continue, then Add to Dashboard. Done, but I'm a huge fan of mushroom cards, and that's what I'm using. If you want to use mushroom cards too but have no clue where to find them, here's a pro tip. The only way to install mushroom cards is through Hacks. And if you're now thinking, wait, what on earth is Hacks? Don't panic. I've got a whole video for that. How to install Hacks 2.x in Home Assistant 2025, step-by-step guide. Click the link in the top right corner now, or find it later in the description below. Back to our dashboard setup. Head over to the By Card tab and find your favorite number card. I used the mushroom number card and set it up like this. Entity, set to the helper. Name, I used Extractor threshold for one and Booster threshold for the other. Default color, blue for Extractor and red for Booster. Layout, horizontal. Primary info, name. Secondary info, state. Save the card. And exit edit mode. And there they are. 2 more helpers proudly shining on your dashboard like humidity-fighting heroes.
Part 3. Toggle helper.
Now about those shiny number helpers we just made. Sometimes you'll want to change the threshold by exactly 1, and sliders can be, let's say, artistically imprecise. So let's do some dashboard magic and make those sliders switch to something more precise with just a double click. Note, this only applies if you're using dashboard number cards which have the ability to display entities in different modes. If you're not using those, congrats! You've officially unlocked a snack break. Let's build the toggle. Head back to the Helpers section. Click Create Helper. And choose Toggle because we're about to toggle stuff, obviously. Give it a clear name so future you doesn't scream. I named mine HTG Fan Thresholds Mode Slider. Add an icon, this is your moment to be fabulous. Click Create. Now polish it up. Find your new toggle helper and open its settings. Assign an area if you'd like. Add some labels. Click Update when you're done. Don't forget to assign a category because we love organization. And that's it. Another helper is ready to help. It's standing by, eager to shine on your dashboard and do its one job with dramatic flair. Ready to move on and see it in action? Let's go!
Part 4. Dashboard display.
For this helper, let's take a different approach. Instead of just displaying it on the dashboard, let's use it. Open your dashboard in edit mode. Duplicate each threshold card. Change the display mode on the duplicates, and click Save. Now you should have 2 cards for each threshold. Edit one of the cards, and set the double tap behavior to perform action. As the action, select Input Boolean Toggle. For the target, click Choose Entity. And select your toggle helper, in my case HTG Fan Thresholds Mode Slider. Click Save. Repeat those steps for all 4 threshold cards. Now let's work on visibility. Edit one of your slider cards. Open the Visibility tab. Click Add Condition. And select Entity State. Set your toggle helper as the entity. Set the condition to State is equal to, and State to On. Click Save. Repeat those steps for the second slider. For the other 2 threshold cards, repeat the same visibility setup, but this time set the state to off. Save your changes. Exit edit mode. And double-click on a threshold to see the magic unfold. Like a Smarthome chameleon on command.
Chapter 8. Automation.
After almost 45 minutes of this video, we've finally arrived at the grand finale, the part where real magic, aka automation, takes control of your bathroom ventilation system. We've done a lot. Made your bathroom light smart. Connected your Extractor fan's main power to Home Assistant. Smartified the booster switch. Give your kitchen and bathrooms the gift of humidity awareness. Created easy-to-tweak humidity thresholds. Now it's time to combine it all and unleash the power of logic. Let's get it started.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Step 1. Automate the booster switch.
Booster served as the first dish in our automation banquet. It should kick in automatically when humidity in any of your key locations exceeds the defined threshold. So we'll be comparing Humidity Sensor Helper, which tracks the highest humidity across your sensors. In my setup, HCS Humidity Bathrooms Kitchen, Booster Threshold Number Helper, where the trigger value is set. In my case, HNU Threshold Fan Booster. Before we start building, a few things to keep in mind. My Zigbee booster switch acts like a reset switch. As soon as it turns on, it flips itself off again. My Extractor booster continues running for over a minute after being turned off. I could change this, but honestly it works just fine. And as I mentioned earlier, if the main switch is off, the entire unit is powered down, so the booster won't do squat. So if you want to boost the system like mine, first, make sure the main unit is powered. Second, your automation needs to keep turning the booster on every minute to keep it going. Let's build the automation.
Part 1. Turning the booster on and off triggered by humidity.
Go to Home Assistant Settings, then Automations and Scenes. Click the big fat Create Automation button in the bottom right. Select Create New Automation. In the When section, click Add Trigger. Choose Entity. And then select Numeric State. Set your Humidity Helper as Entity. Tick numeric value of another entity under Lower Limit. For above, choose your Booster Threshold Helper. Once that's done, close the When section by clicking its title bar at the top, just under the When. This keeps your automation tidy and easy to read, like closing a kitchen drawer instead of leaving it hanging out ready to stub your toe. Now skip the rest and glide down to the Then Do section. Click Add Building Block and select the Repeat option. Change the repeat type to Until. In the Until condition, click Add Condition. In the dialog that pops up, choose Entity, then Numeric State. Set your Humidity Helper again as the entity. Under Upper Limit, take numeric value of another entity. And set your Booster Threshold Helper as the reference in below box. Close the Until condition. We've told it when to stop. Let's make sure the Extractor fan is actually powered. Go to Action and click Add Building Block. In Building Blocks window, select a fan. In a section, press Add Condition. Choose Entity, then State. Set your ventilation system's main switch as the entity, and set State to Off. Move to Then section and add Action. Select Device. Choose your main switch again, and set the action to Turn On. This will turn on the Extractor if it was off, like waking up the engine room before launching the rockets. Now add a short delay. Click Add Building Block again, and select Wait for Time to Pass Delay. Set the duration to 5 seconds. Just a little coffee break for the Extractor to power up. That conditional block is done. Click its title to close it. Add another action, and select Device. Choose your booster switch, and set the action to turn on. Once that's set, close the action block by clicking its title. Since my booster fan runs for about a minute after being triggered, I'll want to wait a bit before looping. Click Add Building Block. Select Wait for Time to Pass Delay, and set duration to 1 minute. Close this block, and while you're at it, close the entire Then Do section. Look at you go. Click Save. Give your automation a name, something like Vent System Booster On Triggered by Humidity. Then feel free to add a description. Assign an area. Set a category. Throw on some labels. Treat yourself. Click Save again. And that's it. You just automated some serious bathroom wizardry. Wait! Hold the flush. There's one last missing task, assigning an icon. Because even your automation deserves to look fabulous. To do that, click the 3 dots next to your automation and select Settings. Or if you're already inside the automation editor, hit the 3 dots in the top right corner and choose Settings from there. Pick an icon you love, fan, wind, rocket ship, live your truth. Then click Update. Now you're done. Your automation isn't just smart, it's stylish.
Part 2. Testing and automation triggered by humidity.
This part is short, sweet, and satisfying like the first sip of coffee after surviving YAML. Open the Automations page and find your shiny new creation. To test it, click the 3 dots menu next to your automation and select Run Action. Already inside the automation editor, just tap the 3-dot menu in the top right corner and choose Run Action there instead. Now check if your booster fan kicked in. Mine sounds like it's launching into orbit. If your bathroom suddenly feels like it's about to take off, congratulations! Your automation works. Onward to fresher air in fog-free mirrors.
Step 2. Automate the main switch.
Ah yes, the main switch, that magical little box that can power up or down your entire ventilation system like a wizard flipping a circuit breaker. Now technically, I could create one gigantic automation to control this switch in all possible scenarios. But that beast would be long, complicated, and potentially run for hours or days. So instead, I've gone with the smarter and lazier route. 2 automations to turn the extractor on for 2 different situations, and 2 more to turn it off when the job's done. Simple, clear, and way less likely to make you cry into your YAML.
Part 1. Turning on the bathroom fan triggered by humidity.
This bit starts off like deja vu from the last automation. Head over to Automations and Scenes and create another brand new automation. In the Wind section, click Add Trigger. Choose Entity. Then select Numeric State. Set your humidity helper as the entity. Tick numeric value of another entity under lower limit. For above, select your fan threshold helper instead of the booster one. I'm closing this block now to tidy up the screen, because chaos belongs in movies, not in automations. Let's check the state of the extractor and give it a nudge if it's napping. Click Add Condition. Select Entity. Then State. Set your ventilation system's main switch as the entity. Set the state to off. Closing this block again so you'll have a better view of what's next. Onto the Vendu part. Add an action. Choose Device. Select the same main switch and set the action to turn on. Voila! The extractor will kick in only if it wasn't already on. Efficiency and elegance. Click Save. Give your automation a name, something like Vent System Extractor On, triggered by humidity. Then feel free to add a description, assign an area, set a category, throw on some labels. Click Save again, and don't forget to assign an icon because your automation deserves to look as good as it performs. And just like that, another piece of your smart home puzzle falls into place. Your smart home just got a little smarter, and your bathroom a lot less swampy.
Part 2. Turning off the bathroom fan triggered by humidity.
So humidity can now turn the fan on. Let's complete the circle of life and teach it how to turn the fan off too. Create yourself another shiny new automation. Click Add Trigger. Choose Entity. Then select Numeric State. Set your humidity helper as the entity again. This time, tick numeric value of another entity under upper limit. Set your fan threshold helper as the reference in the below box. We don't want to shut off the fan while someone's still in the bathroom. That would be awkward. And besides, another automation will handle that case. So let's add a polite little check to make sure the bathroom isn't in use. Click Add Condition. Select Entity. Then State. Set your bathroom lights helper as the entity. Set the state to off. If the lights are off, we can assume the bathroom is empty and ghost-free. Move to the Then Do section and add an action. Select Device. Choose your ventilation system's main switch as the device, and set the action to turn off. Click Save. Give your automation a name, maybe Vent System Extractor Off, triggered by humidity. Add a description, assign an area, set a category, toss on some labels. Whatever makes your inner neat freak happy. Click Save again. And don't forget to assign an icon. And now your bathroom fan can be summoned and dismissed by humidity. You've taught moisture manners. Congratulations!
Part 3. Testing automations triggered by humidity.
Ah yes, testing time, the moment of truth. Make sure your extractor is switched off. Then run the action for both automations, starting with the one that's supposed to turn the ventilation on. With a bit of luck, your fan should fire up when expected and power down when the air clears. In my case, both automations worked like a charm. No smoke, no drama, no mysterious bathroom poltergeists. With every step of this setup, my smart home gets a little smarter, and I get a little happier. Soon I'll be smiling like someone who just taught humidity to behave.
Part 4. Turning on the bathroom fan triggered by lights.
Let's make sure that when someone flips the bathroom light on, the fan doesn't just sit there like it's on a coffee break. It should kick into action, automagically. The easiest way to make this happen? Duplicate the existing automation, the one where humidity triggers the fan. Click the 3 dots next to that automation and select Duplicate. Or open your automation, tap the 3-dot menu in the top right corner, and pick Duplicate from there. Now we need to swap out the old trigger for our new light-based superstar. In the Win section, click the 3 dots to the right of the existing trigger and select the red Delete option. Confirm you're deleting the trigger, not your dreams. You should now have no triggers at all. Time to fix that. Click Add Trigger. Select Entity, then State. Set your bathroom lights helper as the entity, and set to on. The rest of the automation stays exactly the same, so the fan will only start if the lights turn on and the fan isn't already running. Clean, simple, and no wasted electricity. Now hit Save. Give your automation a name. I went with Vent System Extractor on triggered by lights. Edit the description, assign an area, set a category, and sprinkle on some labels. Live your best organized life. Click Save again to complete this build. Don't forget to assign an icon. Icons are the emojis of smart home automations. Another win for smart living. Your fan just got more intuitive than half the people who forget to use it in the first place.
Part 5. Turning off the bathroom fan triggered by lights.
This is the final automation in this project. Start by creating a new automation. Click Add Trigger. Select Entity, then State. Set your bathroom lights helper as the entity, same as before, but this time set to off. Now we don't want the fan shutting off the moment the lights go out. There might still be unpleasant aftermath lingering in the air. Let's give it a few minutes to finish clearing the crime scene. In the Then Do section, click Add Building Block and select Wait for time to pass, delay. Decide how long you want the fan to keep running after the lights go off. I went with 5 minutes, a good grace period for any post-battle cleanup. Next, let's check whether it's safe to shut the fan off. Click Add Building Block and select If Then. We'll verify that humidity in all key spots is under control before putting the ventilation system to bed. This avoids cutting things short if the air still feels like a sauna. Note: if you don't want the delay, this part can go into the end of section of your automation instead. I'm adding it after the delay just to make sure nothing changed during those 5 minutes. In the If block, click Add Condition. Choose Entity, then Numeric State. Set your humidity helper as the entity. Tick numeric value of another entity under upper limit. Set your fan threshold helper as the reference in the below field. If everything's calm on the humidity front, it's safe to power down. In the Then block, click Add Action. Select Device. Choose your ventilation system's main switch as the device. Set the action to turn off. Click Save. Give your automation a fitting name. Mine's called Vent System Extractor Off, triggered by lights. Feel free to add a description, assign an area, set a category, and add a few labels to stay organized. Click Save again. And don't forget to assign an icon. If your fan's going to be fancy, it might as well look the part. And there you have it. Your bathroom fan is now smart enough to politely wait before turning off, check the humidity, and only then quietly bow out. Well done, you've just given moisture and lighting a masterclass in coordination.
Part 6. Testing automations triggered by lights.
Alright, time to find out if your fan is as clever as we've trained it to be. First, make sure your extractor fan is off. We want a clean test, not a false ego boost for the ventilation system. Now turn on a bathroom light. Any light will do. Within seconds, the fan should spring to life like it just got handed a double espresso. Next, turn the lights off and let the second automation do its thing. Remember? We added a short delay, so grab a snack, maybe take a victory lap. While you relax, your system waits patiently, then checks if the humidity is low enough for the fan to call it a day. Think of it like a bouncer checking if the party's really over. Want to double-check your setup? Try playing around with your humidity thresholds to test each automation. But here's the catch. Humidity-based automations only fire when there's an actual change in humidity. Just tweaking the threshold won't do the trick if the humidity itself is standing still like a teenager told to clean their room. To retrigger the automation, your humidity helper, the one tracking the max value, needs to detect a real change in humidity. No movement, no magic. And when everything works, that, my friend, is the sweet sound of victory. Also the sound of a bathroom that no longer smells like regret. In my case, everything ran like clockwork. No rogue fans. No surprise humidity spikes. Not a single ghostly gust from the vent. Every new automation feels like a tiny celebration. My home gets smarter. I get smugger. Soon I'll be teaching Alexa table manners and giving Siri a quarterly performance review.
Chapter 9. Thank you.
And that, dear friends, brings us to the end of this fantastic journey. Please don't confuse fantastic with fantastic. Although honestly, I'd like to think it's a bit of both. This was the longest video on the channel to date. I may upload a shorter version soon, with links to jump straight to individual steps, because everyone loves the smart shortcut. If you made it this far, you're the real hero. Extremely patient and deeply appreciated. Thank you for spending over an hour with me. That's more commitment than most New Year's resolutions. If you enjoyed this marathon of moisture management, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you don't miss the next automation adventure, and leave a comment. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you'd like to support my work, check out the links in the description below. Every little bit helps keep the lights on and the fans spinning. Until next time, may your bathrooms forever smell like victory. Happy fantastic automating!